Welcome to Dark Truths, Religion Uncovered. Tonight we'll discuss a significant change in how we perceive faith. When the responsibility of guarding truth shifted from individuals to leaders, institutions, and authorities, in ancient times, everyone shared the duty of protecting truth. Prophets were designated as guardians, but the whole community was involved. The people of Israel were instructed to diligently teach the law to their children and to talk about it at home, on the road, and at the gates. Truth was a communal effort. Staying silent in the face of corruption was seen as guilt, and ignorance was not considered innocence. Knowing the truth meant being responsible for it. However, in modern belief, many treat truth as something left to the professionals. Pastors manage doctrine, scholars interpret scripture, and institutions uphold traditions. Individuals often accept these conclusions without questioning the deeper foundations. While this approach may seem efficient, ancient teachings would warn that it is risky. Scriptures teach us that every believer must test teachings and understand the law. When individuals hand over their responsibility, it creates space for deception. Modern belief often prefers to delegate these duties because it's easier than facing them directly. Protecting truth requires effort, courage, and the willingness to confront uncomfortable errors, which leads to a more passive faith. Instead of conviction, there is complacency. Rather than true understanding, there is mere agreement. Ancient believers were concerned about this passivity because it made people vulnerable. When individuals stop protecting the truth, falsehood can spread unnoticed. Prophets warned Israel repeatedly, not because truth was absent, but because people had stopped paying attention. Modern belief can fall into the same pattern, mistakenly thinking that everything is safe. But truth that is not actively guarded is at risk of being lost. Scriptures do not promise that truth will take care of itself. It requires protectors. Watchmen do not create truth. They safeguard it. When they become complacent, communities suffer. Many in modern belief wrongly assume that truth is strong enough to survive neglect. But history tells a different story. Doctrines can shift, commands can weaken, and holiness can fade. All because vigilance is lacking. Ancient wisdom recognized that people must remember, defend, and live out the truth actively. It cannot simply be assumed. Responsibility for truth is a communal task, because everyone is affected by failures. Many resist this idea today because it means being accountable. Speaking up can be difficult, especially when silence seems like the easier option. But silence is not neutral. When truth is ignored, falsehood can fill that gap. Ancient faith expected believers to take responsibility, even when it was hard. Modern belief often waits for authorities to make a move, but leadership without participation weakens the community. God never intended for truth to be the sole duty of a select few. He entrusted it to everyone. Tonight's important takeaway is this: when belief passes the responsibility of guarding truth to others, it loses the ability to discern. Faith becomes dependent and weak. Ancient believers were able to endure persecution because the truth was within them, not just something imposed on them. In contrast, many today consume truth without truly embodying it, but truth that is not actively carried will ultimately be lost. So we'll end with a thought-provoking question that ancient teachings would ask. If you no longer see it as your responsibility to guard the truth, who do you think will protect it when deception comes? Thank you for joining us at Dark Truths, Religion Uncovered. We invite your thoughts. Has the responsibility for truth been passed along to others? Or does belief still actively watch over what matters most? Subscribe, like, and comment. Till the next episode.